What's up, y'all? It's your man Bob, Smoking Fiend Productions. I wanted to just show you all the Archfiend deck I've been using on my live streams, which has been proven to be a very properly put together deck. Assuming I'm not playing like was it Master Duel, right? But this deck, for my purposes, works pretty well. It's all about utilizing the graveyard as a major resource, bringing monsters back and forth from the graveyard, banishing them from the graveyard, bringing them back again to the graveyard, to banishing them again, right? So let's go ahead and start off by looking at the trap cards and spells. So first one, Call of the Archfiend. Target one level 5 or higher fiend monster in your graveyard. Discard one fiend monster. And if you do, special summon that targeted monster. Alright, so assuming that you're using card like Archfiend Emperor, which is going to be sent directly to the graveyard if it's going to be normal summoned without the tribute. Right, with Call of the Archfiend, you can bring them back. Same thing with Archfiend Commander, right? You can bring back Curse of Necrofair, and yeah, this is just a really good trap card for this particular deck build, and probably other Archfiend and other Fiend deck builds. But yeah, this is just a mainstay. You're going to want to use that. Dark Illusion, when the spell card or trap monster effect is activated, that targets a monster on the field, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. So this is just some like extra protection I have, because I do have, well, except this guy, but everyone else is a dark monster. So yeah, it's just some added protection. So it doesn't protect you from effects that will like destroy every single monster on the field. Like it won't protect you from Darkhold or Raigeki or Mirror Force for that matter. But any like card that specifically targets one dark monster, all right, you can negate the activation. Next up is the spell cards here. We have Falling Down. This is a really cool card. Basically, if you have a Archfiend card on the field, you can take control of one of your opponent's card, right? Activate this card by targeting an opponent's monster, equip this card to it, take control of it, destroy this card unless you control an Archfiend card. One downside, you have to pay 800 life points every turn, but every one of your turns, but that's not really that big of a deal, because more than likely you're going to use your opponent's monster to probably tribute summon, or to probably link or XZ summon something. All right, so not a big deal. Next up is a pretty like staple, Foolish Burial. All right, I feel like everybody should have at least one copy of this card. Send one monster from your deck to the graveyard. Right, so what? Well, I have a couple of lesser level fiends that are utilized in the graveyard. So Archfiend Eris. If you're playing Imperial Archfiends, you're definitely going to want to have Eris, because when this card is sent to the graveyard because of a card effect or being destroyed by battle, you can add one Archfiend card from your deck to your hand, except Archfiend Eris. So, you know, at the beginning, very beginning of the duel, you might get this card, use it to send Archfiend Eris to the graveyard. Get yourself a Archfiend card from your deck. All right, you can get Call of the Archfiend. You can get any one of these guys. All right. So yeah, Foolish Burial, definitely a card you want to have in combination with Archfiend Eris. Of course, Monster Reborn, just in case I want to reborn a monster. Pretty self-explanatory. Alright, so we also have a few cards that these two cards, they banish cards from the deck here. Pot of Extravagance. At the start of your main phase, 1 banish 3 or 6 random face down cards from your extra deck. Face down, draw 1 card for every 3 cards banished. For the rest of the turn after this card is resolved, you cannot draw any cards by card effects. So why do we have this card on our deck, and why do we want to banish our extra deck monsters? Well, so we can use Eater of Millions, right? And Grin Meiju de Iza. So I really should talk about this card first. So this card gets this card's attack are equal to the number of cards of your banished cards times 400. So you know, just by sending these guys to the graveyard, which I don't even use a lot of these cards. I use them, but I don't use them like that, right? So I'll send like a number 48 to the banishment yard. I'll send number 70 to the banishment yard, so I'm not going to use it. I'll send number 80 to the banishment yard. I'll send probably at least one Master King Archfiend to the graveyard, right? And this way I have his attack power, you know, just up there. There's no limits. So as long as you can banish cards, his attack power will be pretty high here. Grand Meiju de Iza, okay? And that's why this card is really useful. Plus you get to draw an extra card. All right, pretty cool. Okay, that's extra card for every free cards you send to the banishment. So yeah, it's also a good deck searcher, along with powering up Grand Meiju de Iza. Next card, Eater of Millions. So cannot be normal summon or set. Must be special summoned by your hand by banishing 5 or more cards from your extra deck. From your hand, field, or extra deck, or your face down monsters. So basically you can take out any card, doesn't matter if it's on the field, extra deck, your hand, doesn't matter, they can be banished, and this card will gain 100 attack and defense for each card banished, right? The thing is about this card cannot be tributed or used as a material for fusion, synchro, or XE summon, but you want to keep them on the field because once per turn at the start of the battle step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can banish that opponent's monster right face down. So you know, doesn't even matter how high the attack power is because this thing doesn't really attack so much as just wallow the freaking card up. So yeah, that's a really good effect to have. All right, so in case I did send like any of my good cards, like I shouldn't just say good cards, they're all good cards, but any more like useful cards to the banishment yard, I have Burial of a Different Dimension, lets me target up to 3 banished monsters and return them to the graveyard. Speaking of banishment, what was I gonna say? I'll get more to that later on, right? But yeah, Emperor's effect pretty much has you banishing every card, so that's what makes this magic card even more useful. Okay, so a couple of other mainstay monsters we should talk about here. You see up here we have 5 level 8 monsters in this deck. That's Archfiend Emperor, the First Lord of Horror, 3 copies of that. We have Archfiend Empress, 1 copy of that. And we have Curse Necrofear, right? 3 powerful cards. And what we want to have to support them are just 2 sort of minor fiend cards, Dark Spirit of Malice and Dark Spirit of Banishment. So these 2 cards have really got me out of some jams when I had my level 8s in the just not available to me. So Dark Spirit of Malice, when your opponent activates a card or quick effect, which yeah, it'd be freaking Yugioh, plenty of quick effects, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target 1 level 8 fiend monster in your graveyard, special summon it right to the field. Its effects are going to be negated. Right, so you're not going to be able to use Archfiend Emperor's ability. You're not going to be able to use Archfiend Empress ability, but at least they go on the field. And if a level 8 fiend monster sits to your graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. So every time this card goes to the graveyard, we have the chance of a really strong chance of just using it, bringing it back. Right, using it to get Archfiend Emperor back on the field, assuming he's on the graveyard. Same thing with Archfiend Empress and Curse Necrofear. Right, you can add this card to your hand. Yeah, you can only use this once per turn. So the other one, Dark Spirit of Banishment. If your opponent's monster attacks at the start of the damage step, you can send at the start of the damage step, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Then target one level 8 Fiend monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated. So very similar to Dark Spirit of Malice, right? Whereas you're bringing the level 8 Fiend monster back from the graveyard and having its negates, its effects negated. All right, and see, if you do change the attack target to it and perform damage calculations. Right, so what's cool about this card, if your opponent does attack you, right, at the beginning of the stage, right, you know, they think, oh, you got a weak little monster on the field, maybe you got Tor God of the Underworld. They attack at the beginning of the battle step. You can bring back your level 8 and they will be forced to attack your level 8 monster. They would just be forced to attack it, right? And that's what it says there. If a level 8 monster is sent to your graveyard while this card is in your deck, you can add this card. You can use... Isn't that what it said? Effects are negated. Yeah, change the attack target to perform damage calculation. Right. So, yeah. More of a reason why this card is useful. And we're going to be sending Fiend cards to the graveyard a lot because, mind you, we have called the Archfiend. All we got to do is discard one Fiend monster and we can bring back a high level monster, right? So, you know, basically with these cards here, called the Archfiend, you know, we're making it so we can just cycle powerful Fiends back from the graveyard, you know, whenever they're destroyed. Right, just a little like safety net almost. All right, haven't talked about Tor God of the from the Underworld. Feel like that was kind of self-explanatory, but here it goes. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon one level 3 Fiend monster from your deck, but its effects are negated, and it can't be used as a synchro summon. Okay, so yeah. That's when like one monster, actually two monsters down here from my extra deck come into play here. So yeah, if I use this card, I might bring out Archfiend Eris, I might bring out Green Meiju the Iza, alright, I might bring out Dark Spirit of Banishment. Doesn't matter, right? Because I'm gonna XZ summon. I'm gonna probably bring out this guy down here, DDD Stone King Darius, probably the only light attribute monster I have in this deck. But really cool XZ card. Once per turn during either play this turn, you can detach one XZ material from this card. Then one Dark Contact card you control, destroy it if you do draw a card. So I don't have any Dark Contracts, but I do use this ability. If this card battles an opponent's monsters during damage calculation, you can detach one XZ material from this card, make this card unable to be destroyed by that battle, destroy the opponent's monster that battled it after damage calculation, and if you do, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. So it doesn't matter if your opponent has like a super duper high attack powered monster. You can use the XZ material. You can detach the material and destroy it and inflict 500 life points to your opponent. All right. So keep in mind though, you'll still lose life points. Right? You're still gonna lose life points, but King Darius won't be destroyed. He'll clear your field out for you. Right? Then we have, of course, number 48, Shadow Leech, which I've been using just a little recently. Once per turn, you can detach one XZ material from this card, special summon a Phantom token. While you control the Phantom token, your opponent cannot target this card for attacks. Right? And it also gains 500 attack points for each Phantom token you control. Alright, so this is a good way of really, when I look at these two cards, they're kind of just good ways to start a duel off, right? Start off with just like the freaking, you know, utilizing the weaker level monsters to get yourself like a foundation to just build up your offensive power with your Imperial Archfiends. All right. These cards, I don't really use these cards ever. Number 70, Malevolent Sin. Let's see, once per turn you can detach 1 XE material from this card, then target one monster your opponent controls, banish it until the next phase. I really should use it, but you know, I never really have two level 4s on the field at the time. In fact, I only have 2 level 4s in my whole deck, so really they just end up being cannon fodder. Same thing for Rhapsody and Berserk. Alright, I don't really use them like that. Every now and then I do like to use Archfiend's Ascent, especially when I'm able to get 2 Archfiend commanders on the field. Let's see, this card becomes Summon Skull in the field, but straight as Archfiend. So yeah, it'll work with Call the Archfiend, Falling Down, all that. If a Summon Skull you control will be destroyed by battle card effect, you can attach 1 material from this card instead. This XE summon card you control sent to the graveyard by the opponent's card. You can special summon 1 Summon Skull from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So yeah, I don't have Summon Skull in here, obviously. Wish I could, but it's like I said, I don't really use these cards like that unless I just want to get monsters in the graveyard. Like, you know, if I bring out Archfiend Emperor, I might just, you know, if I use a special effect, I might just go ahead and link summon him to get Master King Archfiend, who has I want to say unique ability. Once per turn, during save, pay 500 life points. That's why the other Archfiend cards suck. But you can send 1 Fiend monster from your deck to the graveyard, or attack or defense equal to the amount paid. Once per turn, once per chain, if a Fiend monster is sent to the graveyard, you can roll a 6-sided die, then apply this effect. So you can add it to your hand if you get a 1. Shuffle it to your deck. If you get a 2, 3, 4, or 5, or 6, special summon it. So at least this way you have a way of like getting those Fiend monsters back in your deck and keeping them from being put in the graveyard. But for this deck to really be utilized, you want to send them to the graveyard. So yeah, this is just like kind of an alternative like option of trying to just keep your powerful monsters on the field, but you won't really need it like that. Alright, so let's move on to talking about some of the higher level cards that I have here. So we'll go talk about Cursed Necrofear. Not be special summoned, must be special summoned by card effect. You can target 3 of your banished Fiend monsters and special summon this card from your hand. If you do, shuffle those banished monsters into the deck, and during the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was destroyed in your monster zone by opponent's card and sent there this turn, special summon this card from your graveyard. Then you can destroy cards your opponent controls up to the number of face-up spells, traps you control with different names. So yeah, this card is just a straight up powerhouse. You're already going to be banishing monsters, but keep in mind they're talking about like effect monsters and normal monsters. You're not going to be able to use the fiends you banish from your extra deck to get Cursed Necrofear back on the field, but that's okay because with Call the Archfiend you can special summon them back by just discarding another Fiend card. And not to say that you won't banish, you know, not to say you won't like use that first way to get him on the field, right? You could very easily have several cards banished by using Archfiend Emperor's effect, which I'll talk about now. So this card can be normal summon without tributing. The original attack and defense will be halved, and if summoned this way, this card leaves the field at the end of the turn. It's destroyed. Alright, but when it's on the field, you can banish 1 Archfiend card from your hand or graveyard and then target 1 card on the field to destroy it. So any one of your opponent's cards on the field are just destroyed by using it. And yeah, you'll have to send them to the graveyard. But a couple of things: if you have Archfiend, call the Archfiend on the field, you can bring him back. If you have Dark Spirit of Malice and Dark Spirit of Banishment in your hand, right? Dark Spirit of Malice, when your opponent activates a quick effect, you can bring Archfiend back to the field. Dark Spirit of Banishment, when your opponent attacks you at the beginning of the damage step, you can bring Archfiend Emperor back to the field, right? So yeah, all in all, very, very useful card here. Definitely going to have that. Archfiend Emperors of exactly one face-up Dark Fiend monster on the field. Except this card will be destroyed, you can remove from play one Dark Fiend monster from your graveyard. Instead, when this card is destroyed and sent from the field to the graveyard, you can then select one level 6 or higher Dark Fiend monster in your graveyard, except Archfiend Empress, and special summon it. So, in the case of this card would be destroyed, you can remove from play one Fiend monster from your graveyard. Instead of it being destroyed, when it is destroyed, you can special summon a high level Fiend monster from your graveyard. All right. And, you might be saying, oh, level 8, it's going to be hard to get that on there. Now, if you special summon it with, once again, Call of the Archfiend or Monster Reborn, okay, that's always an option. Next up, we'll talk about Archfiend Commander. If you control an Archfiend card, you can special summon this card, but it cannot attack this turn. You can special summon Archfiend Commander once per turn this way, and when special summon this way, target one Archfiend card you control, destroy that target. When this card is tribute summon, you can target one level 6 Archfiend monster in your graveyard and special summon that target in face up defense position. So this card is very, very versatile. Alright, if we are using Archfiend Emperor's effects, normal summoning him without tribute, yeah, he's gonna leave us at the end of the turn, but before he does, we can special summon Archfiend Commander, and we can go into our opponent's turn with a 2500 attack, level 6 monster, right? If you... And that's like any Archfiend card, right? You can destroy, you can special summon them, so as long as you can destroy, keep them on the field so long as you have an Archfiend card. That's the sound of my dryer, by the way. So, if you have Call the Archfiend activated, you might not have any Fiend cards in your graveyard, no powerful Fiend cards in your graveyard. That's alright. You can special summon Commander, destroy Archfiend, Call the Archfiend, and keep him on the field. Right. Same thing goes with, all the Archfiend cards. So, last one, Archfiend Cavalry. And this is just a little beat stick I put in here, but still has a useful ability. This card on the field destroyed by a card effect sent to the graveyard. You can target one Archfiend monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Alright, so that pretty much is it. That's a nice little solid breakdown of the Archfiend deck that I use. Let me know what you think about this. If you want to give it a try yourself, please do watch this video, 2 times, put it together yourself. And let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching, and till next time. Peace out.